What is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz, bringing you a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC character discussion. So think of this as a sort of rate their character, rate their chances sort of series. I did this, last summer, obviously before Smash Ultimate came out, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I kind of wanted to do it again for potential characters for Smash Ultimate, so I might start doing these again on Sundays because I had fun with it. So if you have a character you potentially might want me to cover, go ahead and leave a suggestion down in the comments. But each day, basically, I'll go over a few facts for the characters, and then we'll just kind of see at the end. I'll give my opinion on what I think the character has for chances to be in Smash Ultimate for DLC, and then you guys can leave your opinions as well down in the comments. So as you can tell, on screen right now is Agumon. Alright, cool. There's that. I got a text. But it is Agumon, so we're going to go over Agumon. Let's do this. Alright, first up, we're just going to go over a few facts here. So, a lot of people like to think that Agumon is from an anime, so anime characters can't be a character in Smash Ultimate. Well, I got a few things here that proves, it kind of started as a game character itself. So Digimon actually started in 1997 as a Tamagotchi. A Tamagotchi is a virtual pet with battles. It's not some stuffed animal. It's not like an amiibo. It's not something you can just throw on your shelf and it's good. You can just leave it there. No. Tamagotchis, what you see in the bottom right-hand corner, you actually had to pick up and play and keep those, your virtual pets. You had to keep them alive. You had to, you just had to, take care of them. That's what you had to do. And, to me, that's a game, where you actually have to pick it up to make it, where you have to do something with it in order to make the game, be a game. Like I said, it's not something you can just let sit there and do its thing and, you'll be fine. No, that's not what this is. So, it did kind of start off as a, it did start off as a Tamagotchi, and, it's a big debate. Is Tamagotchi a game? Is it just a toy? I'm firmly in the camp that this is actually a game, so you can argue that if you want or not. But next fact, we got fact number 2. Digimon actually had two video games come out before the anime actually started. One in 1998 called Digimon Tamers, which I believe was on the Sega Saturn. Right, yeah, I was pretty sure it's Sega Saturn. And then in 1999 with the Digimon World Games. Here's a couple of the pictures of the games, what they look like. So, again, they had these were actual games before the anime started. Now, I know you're going to, some people might try to argue the fact, and it's totally fine. Well, you knew about the anime in advance. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that like to bring up, if they didn't start as a game character, technically, first appearance was a Tamagotchi, potentially, or if you don't want to count Tamagotchi, video games. There they are. Digimon Tamers and Digimon World came out before the anime, so to me, that kind of signals it's a game character, that works in the video game world. So, hey, there you go. Just a couple facts right there. So, moving on to fact number 3. Agumon actually, now this one is kind of like, when you talk about a character in the Smash community, a lot of people like to bring up certain aspects. Does the character have this or this or this? And in this case, Agumon, I guess a lot of the Digimon, the Digimon franchise checks a lot of the main boxes. Moveset, Digimon easily have movesets. I think I got a slide going over that in just a second. But are they relevant? Yes, they've had games, and I got a slide about that coming up in just a bit. But they got a moveset, they got relevancy, and they are very popular. Digimon is one of Bandai Namco's biggest franchises. It is, I believe, the third biggest franchise behind, was it Pac-Man and Tamagotchis? So, I mean, you can kind of say it might be number 2, because it kind of started as a Tamagotchi, so you could kind of say that, but again, there's a lot of factors people like to say, like I was already saying a bit before. Do they have, this and this and this and blah, blah, blah? Yes. Agumon checks a lot of big boxes. Digimon is very popular overseas in Japan and stuff, so it's got a lot of good factors, a lot of good points, in favor for this character, potentially this series as a DLC, representation in Smash Ultimate. So fact number 4. So going by now, moving to the relevancy factor that I was just talking about. Relevant by the factor that the series has had a new game on major consoles or handhelds since, I believe, I looked this up. I'm pretty sure since 2013. I think there were a couple games on, maybe some lesser known devices, I believe, but at least a major game on a major console or handheld since 2013. So, I mean, that's pretty relevant right there. And also the fact that it has a new game releasing this year in 2019 called Digimon Survive. Now, I got a slide coming up about that where I discuss this a slightly bit more, but hey, relevancy, a lot of people think that's, it's got to be a factor to why a character has to be in, or a factor that the character needs to be able to get into Smash Ultimate, whether it would be the main roster, which, well, that's already passed, or to be DLC. So I think relevancy, like I said, that box is checked. Moving on to the moveset. So moveset is very easy to imagine if you don't know. So here's just a few things on how the character could work, Agumon specifically. Pepper Breath is basically, think of a fireball attack. Pretty simple. You could do quite a bit with that, actually. Could be his neutral B. You could do, he's got like sort of different variations of this Pepper Breath. He's got like triple Pepper Breath. You could use it like, think of maybe an up air attack. He kind of shoots out like 3 fireballs, kind of like directional right, up, and then to the left. That might be backwards by my camera, but shoots out 3 fireballs going off in different directions. You could use that maybe as a side B, like I said, with the up B, not up B, up air. There we go, up air. So you got different variations on how you could use the Pepper Breath into his attacks. Plus you got some sort of claw attacks. He's got some pretty long arms, pretty long claws. You could do some slashing motions, a simple little AAA, one of those little combos, just a quick little, tap the button, boom, you got quick little damage there. Pretty easy to envision. He's got some uppercuts. He does do that for a moveset in games as well, so boom, throw uppercuts in there. Of course, he's also got bites. He's got the big jaw. Biting down on some opponents could cause a pretty big, amount of damage. He's got some kicks you could do. I think he's got like some mid-air triple kicks or something like that. But the fun one for me is the Final Smash, imagining this character DNA digivolving into Wargreymon, maybe one of the more recognizable Digimon as well, along with Agumon, so be very cool, just a quick little, I guess you can make it like a cinematic kind of cutscene in a way, Agumon DNA digivolve to Wargreymon, and then he just comes out and, unleashes quite a few attacks, just kind of quick, boom, 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 and just kind of hits the field, or hits the stage. And if you happen to get caught in it, you're taking some big damage. So I think that'd be very cool. Very easy to imagine. So there we go. Relevancy, moveset already checked. Popular, already went over that as well. So cool. Fact number 6. Digimon seems to be ignored. Now this one is kind of a point against Agumon and Digimon in general. It's kind of a point against it. So Digimon seems to be ignored by Bandai Namco when it comes to their crossover games, such as Namco X Capcom or, say, Project X Zone. Why is that a thing, though, honestly? And I'm when I'm doing these, I'm not just gonna, try to point to, everything in favor for a character. I want to try to, make this legit, be like, all right, now this character, maybe it's got a lot going against him, maybe a character has a lot going for him. And I think Agumon kind of has a bit of both here, and for this one. So if indeed, if Bandai truly, really wants to push, Digimon as a series, as a video game series, why are they not in these, crossover games? I found that very interesting. Somebody actually told me about that in my last, or one of my last Fighter Pass tournament matches. So I had to check that out, and it was true. So very interesting. I found, why would Bandai Namco why would they just kind of, I don't want to say forget about him, but why would they get overlooked and not even have maybe like a minor role as maybe a side character, maybe a supporting character, maybe a main character? Why is Digimon not in any of those games? I found that very interesting. So definitely kind of a fact and a point against Digimon and Agumon in general. So pretty interesting in my opinion. But moving on to fact number 7 now. Come on, this is a fact. You can't, like, when you talk about Smash Ultimate or Smash Bros. In general, and you're talking about DLC and characters they want to bring in, a lot of eyes are on it. They want to see who's coming in next. Like with Wii U 3DS, we got Ryu, which was huge. We got Cloud, which was probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, surprises. No, it has to be the biggest surprise, right? I don't think anything else is bigger than Cloud. But as a surprise, Nintendo wants to go all out, have some, really awesome announcements. So for that fact, Digimon versus Pokemon would sell any possible DLC that, the Digimon series would have in general. Come on. Plus, Pokemon versus Digimon, it would just make the internet explode. Think of all the hype that people would be talking about. Again, you might not like Digimon. Maybe you don't like Pokemon. Maybe you don't like either. But I think it's a pretty good fact. The internet would absolutely go nuts over that fact alone. I mean, for the longest time, since both these franchises have been a thing, people compare Digimon to Pokemon. People say Digimon is a ripoff of Pokemon. I don't really think so. They're pretty different. I mean, they end with Mon, so I've legit heard that's why some people think. Well, I found that so stupid. Somebody's like, well, Digimon ends with Mon, M-O-N at the end, so does Pokemon. They're like, well, that's a complete ripoff. That was your only argument. I found it funny, but come on. The fact alone that, these two franchises have been compared for the longest time, and to maybe finally be able to settle it inside Smash Ultimate would be so cool. I'm a big fan of that. I would love to see that. Just love to play it. Come on, Agumon against Pikachu, say, or Agumon against... Well, I guess Pokemon trainer, but Agumon against Charizard, that'd be such a cool, matchup, cool battle to see finally take place. So the fact it would sell DLC in itself, for the fact that we could potentially get Digimon versus Pokemon would be awesome to see. And I believe this is the last fact, so going back to the Digimon Survive game that I was talking about a bit earlier. So, with the fact that Bandai is working on Smash Ultimate, along with the fact that Nintendo already picked the DLC characters, before Smash Ultimate even came out. So Nintendo had it in their heads. All right, here's the franchises. Here's the characters we want to go after. Here's what we want to put in Smash. Let's make it happen. So with that fact, this one's interesting now. So with the fact Nintendo's already chosen the DLC characters, and since, so the Digimon Survive game is slated to come out in 2019. There's not a release date for that game yet. Again, if I haven't mentioned this, Digimon Survive is, in fact, coming out on the Nintendo Switch with, it's a worldwide release. It's going to be same-day release as all the other consoles and platforms that it comes out on. So that is big. So it's the first, big Digimon game that's on a big Nintendo console in quite some time. So the fact that, that fact alone is pretty interesting. So, they announced Digimon Survive last summer, I believe, for the first time. Still don't have a concrete release date other than just 2019. Now, why is that? Maybe it's because Bandai, Nintendo with, Bandai Namco, they knew that, obviously they knew there's going to be a new Digimon game on Nintendo, on the Switch. So maybe they wanted to kind of tie in the two together and be like, all right, so once it gets, a little closer for potentially Agumon to be, announced, or any Digimon to be announced for Smash Ultimate as a DLC character, possibly, maybe then they go ahead and announce, hey, by the way, here's the release date for the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon, for Digimon Survive. There you go. You can tie in the two. That way you get a lot more eyes. Not only on, just the next Smash character for DLC, but you also get people that will be interested in checking out the character. Hey, this new character for Smash Ultimate also has a game coming out in 2019 as well. Let me check that out as well. So it works well for both, both parties, works well for both ways if that indeed does happen. So I think there's a lot of good things going for Bandai, but I think there's a lot of good things going for Agumon in this. I honestly think he's kind of a character that gets underlooked. It's a series that might not get much respect, and it doesn't get talked about as much as a lot of other ones do, but I still think there's a a pretty fair, decent amount, a decent chance this character does happen. So my final result, I'm putting it at 60%. I'm not. I think it's better than a 50-50 chance, honestly. But to be fair, Bandai does still have other franchises that are going to be competing with this. If in fact Bandai does get a rep in Smash Ultimate themselves. I mean, they still got Soul Calibur they could take from. They got Tekken. Hayachi's already in Smash Bros. In Pac-Man's Taunt, so can't have Hayachi, I guess, unless they want to bend the rules on that somehow. But they got the Tales of series. They got a lot of good... Wait, Tales of? No, Tales of is Capcom, right? Yeah, that's Capcom. I don't know. Whatever. Point is... I'm giving him 60%. I think it has a pretty legit chance. Plus, the fact Bandai's working on the game, helping Nintendo out with this huge, massive project that could expand, a few, maybe, another year past the original first Fighter Pass. Maybe we get a second Fighter Pass and people get to vote this time, which would be awesome. So, for me, 60% is what I'm giving Agumon. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about Digimon down in the comments. What would you rate the character? Or, I guess, the series. More specifically, the character. What would you give him as a percentage rating? Let me know. Type it in the comments. And then if you have any suggestions for characters or a specific character you'd like to see in the future, let me know. I already got a few in my head that I'm going to do, simple ones like Banjo, Crash, Spyro, Sora. I got simple ones that I'm already thinking of that I'm going to do. But yeah, if you got anything, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, that is going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, next episode will be next Sunday. So I'll do one of these per Sunday. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.